In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on January 10, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Kent State versus Buffalo. The Kent State Golden Flashes are set to clash with the Buffalo Bulls in an upcoming Mid-American Conference matchup scheduled for Friday evening. Kent State is coming off a road victory against Northern Illinois, while Buffalo recently suffered a home loss to Ohio. Notably, Kent State swept Buffalo in their 2 meetings last season. Can Buffalo secure their first Mid-American Conference win of the season in this contest? 7 of Kent State's 10 victories have come when they held their opponents to 60 points or fewer. Buffalo lacks the offensive firepower to contend with Kent State's defensive prowess. Offensively, Buffalo ranks in the lower echelon nationally and also struggles defensively within their conference. While Kent State's offense hasn't been exceptionally potent this season, their robust defense is expected to capitalize against Buffalo's vulnerabilities. Kent State, allowing just 63.5 points per game, has covered the spread in 3 out of 5 games where they were double-digit favorites. Kent State enters this matchup after alternating wins and losses in their last 5 games, with this game being played on the road. Despite shooting only 40.3% from the field, Kent State's strength lies in their stingy defense, conceding an average of 63 points per game. On the other hand, Buffalo has struggled against Division I opponents this season, yielding over 88 points in their last 4 outings. Although Buffalo boasts a higher shooting percentage than Kent State, their defensive struggles are likely to be exploited. Buffalo has encountered significant defensive challenges, evident in their recent performances. Kent State possesses a superior defense capable of containing even formidable mid-major teams. In this matchup, despite Kent State not being a high-scoring team, their defensive prowess is expected to prevail. While home court advantage may benefit Buffalo initially, particularly in the first half, Kent State's robust defense is anticipated to dominate. Therefore, the Kent State Golden Flashes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Historically, the under bet has been profitable when Kent State plays away from home, maintaining an 8-0 record. Additionally, when the total has been set at 140 points or higher for Kent State games, the under has hit in all 5 instances. Conversely, Buffalo games tend to lean towards the over due to their defensive deficiencies. Kent State typically plays at a slower pace, ranking 265th in adjusted tempo according to Ken Palm. Hence, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota versus Wisconsin. 2 Big Ten Conference rivals are set to face off on the court this Friday when the Minnesota Golden Gophers travel to Madison to take on the Wisconsin Badgers at the Kohl Center. Minnesota enters this matchup after a heart-wrenching overtime loss to Ohio State on Monday, where they were edged out 89-88 on their home court. This defeat marks their 4th loss in their last 6 games, highlighting their recent struggles. On the other hand, Wisconsin comes into the game riding a wave of momentum after defeating Rutgers 75-63 on Monday, securing their 4th consecutive victory. Both teams have distinct trajectories and goals heading into this conference clash. Minnesota approaches this contest in search of their first Big Ten win of the season, and they will face the added challenge of playing on the road. The Golden Gophers struggled significantly on offense early in the season but have shown signs of improvement in recent games. Despite nearly pulling off an upset against Ohio State in their last outing, their road performance remains a concern, as evidenced by a 15-point loss to Indiana in their sole away game. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin Badgers are on an impressive winning streak, boasting 4 straight victories and an offensive average of over 83 points per game this season. While the Badgers have faced occasional defensive challenges, they demonstrated solid defensive capabilities by limiting Rutgers to just 63 points in their most recent game. Statistically, the Wisconsin Badgers have an edge in offensive production, averaging 83 points per game, which ranks 32nd nationally. They also exhibit efficiency, shooting 46.9% overall from the field and 35.1% from beyond the arc. In contrast, Minnesota averages a more modest 69 points per game, shooting 44.8% overall and a mere 31.1% from three-point range. Defensively, Wisconsin allows 71 points per game, while Minnesota concedes only 66 points per game. However, the disparity can be partially attributed to Wisconsin's faster-paced style of play compared to Minnesota's slower tempo. From a betting perspective, Minnesota has struggled to cover the spread, doing so in just one of their last 6 games. Wisconsin, by contrast, has covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 outings and boasts an 8-2 record against the spread in their last 10 matchups against Big Ten opponents. Individually, Minnesota's third leading scorer, Lusai Patterson, has taken 168 shots, the second most on the team, but is shooting a disappointing 33.9% overall and just 24.3% from three-point range. The Badgers will aim to cruise to another dominant victory against the struggling Golden Gophers, who have become the punching bag of the Big Ten this season. Minnesota is ranked 157th in adjusted offensive efficiency, managing to score only 107 points per 100 possessions. Their raw shooting numbers paint an even grimmer picture, as the Golden Gophers rank 196th in overall field goal percentage, 302nd in three-point shooting percentage, and a dismal 359th in free throw percentage. Considering the hostile road environment they will face against a Wisconsin defense ranked within the top 65, it is reasonable to expect Minnesota to face significant challenges. Additionally, the Golden Gophers' slower pace of play means they will have fewer possessions, further limiting their ability to keep up with Wisconsin's scoring. So the Wisconsin Badgers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total points scored in games involving Minnesota have often exceeded expectations recently. The total has gone over in 6 of Minnesota's last 7 games and in all 6 of their matchups against other Big Ten teams. Similarly, Wisconsin has seen the total go over in 11 of their last 15 games. Minnesota's adjusted tempo, as measured by Ken Palm, is 62.7, ranking 360th nationally, making them one of the slowest-paced teams in college basketball. In comparison, Wisconsin's adjusted tempo is 68.7, which places them at 170th. Normally, such a disparity in tempo would suggest a lower scoring game. However, Minnesota's recent scoring surge, fueled in part by the addition of Mike Mitchell Jr. in the last 6 games, has contributed to higher point totals in their contests. This matchup presents an intriguing dynamic due to the significant differences in offensive capabilities between the two teams. With Wisconsin playing at home, they are unlikely to face much resistance in putting up 80 or more points. The Badgers are currently ranked 12th nationally in adjusted offensive efficiency, averaging an impressive 121 points per 100 possessions. Additionally, they lead the nation in free throw percentage at 85.5%, an invaluable asset for over-bettors as it allows the team to score points with the clock stopped. At the Kohl Center, Wisconsin averages 85.7 points per game, and they are well positioned to exploit Minnesota's weaknesses in this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. UCLA versus Maryland. Big Ten basketball is set to showcase an exciting new conference matchup between the number 22 UCLA Bruins and the Maryland Terrapins. This marks the continuation of their rivalry after both teams faced off last season, with Maryland emerging victorious by a margin of 9 points in their road victory. UCLA comes into this game following a tough loss, falling 94-75 against number 24 Michigan in a game where they were favored by 1.5 points at home. On the other hand, Maryland also comes off a challenging road game, losing 83-79 to number 9 Oregon. However, they managed to cover the 4.5-point spread as underdogs during that contest. Interestingly, these two teams have faced each other in each of the last 2 seasons prior to joining the same conference. Last season, the Terrapins took home a defensive battle, winning 69-60 while playing as 4-point underdogs on the road. Both UCLA and Maryland are known for having some of the best defenses in the Big Ten this year, which could set the stage for another intense, low-scoring encounter similar to their previous matchups. Despite this, the Bruins have had some difficulty against veteran Big Ten teams this season, while Maryland has struggled against the new Pac-12 teams that have entered the conference. However, when comparing their losses, Maryland has shown more resilience by keeping games close until the end, whereas UCLA suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Michigan. The Wolverines, whose offense ranks 4th in the league, were able to score an eye-popping 94 points against the Bruins' defense. On the other hand, Maryland has the 3rd best offense in the Big Ten, and they should be able to execute well enough against UCLA while balancing their defensive efforts. When it comes to betting, Maryland has posted a 3-2 record against the spread in their last 5 games, while UCLA has a 2-3 record in the same span. UCLA's coach, Mick Cronin, recently made an honest remark about his team's lack of toughness, and it may be a fair statement. The Bruins have struggled when it comes to being strong around the basket, and their best front court player, Blydow, plays more like a guard, often scoring from the perimeter. This admission of a lack of toughness comes at a particularly inconvenient time, as they now face Maryland, a team that boasts 2 of the most formidable post players in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Queen, a 6'10 freshman, is a future NBA prospect, while Julian Reese, a powerful 6'9 forward, thrives in playing physical basketball in the paint. In this matchup, the Terrapins are likely to dominate the paint, which will give them the edge in the game and may even lead to frustration from the UCLA coaching staff. Maryland, ranked 23rd overall in KenPom, possesses significant talent, but their 1-3 record in Big Ten play highlights their need for a win in this crucial game. So the Maryland Terrapins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking back at last season's meeting, a total of 129 points were scored, and despite the defensive battle, the game still went over the 127.5-point total. UCLA's defense in their 4 Big Ten matchups has allowed an average of 71 points per game, which is nearly 10 points higher than their usual season average for scoring defense. The 94 points that Michigan put up against them was a glaring indication of their defensive vulnerabilities. On the offensive side of things, UCLA's performance has not been a significant confidence booster either, but they have managed to score 75 or more points in 3 of their last 5 games, suggesting they can generate offense when necessary. Maryland's defense has also struggled recently, giving up an average of 79 points per game in their last 2 contests, both of which were against former Pac-12 teams now in the Big Ten. This could indicate that Maryland may have difficulties keeping pace with the more fast-paced, up-tempo teams, such as UCLA. On the flip side, Maryland's offense has been quite potent, averaging at least 78 points in 8 of their last 9 games. The over has hit in each of the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams, and it seems likely that this trend will continue. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.